Hello and welcome to Reason News. We're discussing two significant extradition cases that have captured South Africa's attention: the Bushiri couple and the Gupta brothers. The South African government has welcomed a Malawi court ruling to extradite Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary to face trial in South Africa. Meanwhile, there remains uncertainty about when the Gupta brothers will be extradited from the UAE. Let's dive into the details of these cases and their implications for justice and accountability in South Africa. On March 12, 2025, the Lilongwe Magistrate Court in Malawi ruled that Shepherd and Mary Bushiri must be extradited to South Africa to face charges of fraud, money laundering, corruption and rape. The couple fled South Africa in 2020 after violating their bail conditions. The South African government has welcomed this decision, emphasizing its commitment to international cooperation and ensuring that fugitives face justice. This ruling is seen as a significant milestone in reinforcing judicial independence and public trust in both South African and Malawian legal systems.
The court in Malawi has granted an extradition of Bushiri and his wife back to South Africa to face several charges committed in the country before they flew to Malawi. Shepherd and Mary Bushiri appeared before two different courts in South Africa on multiple criminal charges. In 2020, they were granted bail pending trial but failed to comply with their bail conditions and fled the country and later located in Malawi. Following this, South Africa submitted an extradition request to Malawi seeking their return to stand trial on various charges, including rape, violating bail conditions, contraventions of the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act, Banking Act, Civil Aviation Act, and the Immigration Act. The pair were facing fraud and money laundering in South Africa. In a statement that the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development says they have been informed that the pair intends to appeal the ruling. The department says South Africa will oppose the appeal.
Shepherd Bushiri is the founder of the Enlightened Christian Gathering, ECG Church, which has a large following in South Africa and other parts of Africa. The Bushiris were initially granted bail in South Africa but fled before their trial could proceed. Their departure sparked widespread outrage, with many calling for their extradition to face justice. This case highlights broader issues of corruption and accountability, as well as the challenges of transitional crime. In contrast, the extradition of the Gupta brothers from the UAE remains uncertain. Atul and Rajesh Gupta are accused of profiting from their close ties with former President Jacob Zuma and exerting undue influence over state appointments and contracts. Despite an extradition treaty between South Africa and the UAE rejected South Africa's extradition request in 2023, citing technical issues with the documentation. This decision was met with disappointment in South Africa, where the Gupta brothers are seen as key figures in the state capture scandal. Justice Minister Momoloko Kubai has expressed frustration with the UAE's decision, stating that South Africa will not give up on the case. However, the lack of a mutual legal instrument between South Africa and the UAE complicates the process. The government is exploring options to resubmit the extradition request with corrected documentation. Meanwhile, there are reports that the Gupta brothers may have acquired new passports, potentially complicating their extradition further. These extradition cases underscore the challenges of ensuring accountability for crimes committed across borders. The Bushiri ruling demonstrates the effectiveness of international cooperation when legal frameworks are in place. However, the ongoing difficulties with extraditing the Gupta brothers highlight the need for stronger legal agreements and diplomatic efforts to bring fugitives to justice. The extradition of the Bushiris marks a significant victory for South Africa's justice system, while the Gupta brothers' case remains a challenge. As these cases unfold, they will continue to shape public perceptions of accountability and the rule of law in South Africa. That's it for today's bulletin. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay updated.